My mother has been sending cruel messages to my girlfriend, and I only just discovered.
Why, mommy, why?
Generally, not much rattles me. My friends call me a stoic, emotionally constipated idiot, and they're not wrong. Which is why we're all still a little stunned that the love of my life is basically my opposite. I've been with my girlfriend for 8 years and have known her for 10. She's quiet, gentle, brilliant, an actual full-fledged professor, and genuinely one of the kindest people I've ever met. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Frisbee, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. She's silly, shy, goofy in the best ways, and loves to poke fun. I love all of it. I love her more than I've ever loved anyone in this lifetime. But last night, something happened that I can't let go of. My phone was charging, so I was scrolling Instagram Reels on hers, like I usually do. One of her friends DM'd her, and normally I'd send back some dumb reaction photo so they'd know it's me, just a thing in our circle. But it wasn't a joke. It was screenshots my girlfriend had sent her friend, and the friend was trying to comfort her. I hesitated, then opened the screenshots to read better. I'm glad I did, and I don't even regret it anymore, because what I saw were multiple messages from my mother, cruel ones. The timestamps weren't all from the same day, so I don't know how long this has been happening. A week? Longer? No idea. Some of the messages my mom sent included, maybe he hasn't proposed because you haven't given him a child. Men don't marry placeholders. This one makes me see red. I can't even imagine how my baby felt. Others included, if you stop dressing like a teenage boy and put on some makeup, maybe he'd see you as a wife instead of one of his little friends. You're keeping him from his family he used to visit. For clarity, I'm the one who pulled back because of her behavior towards one of my sisters. Nothing to do with my girlfriend. Additional messages were, you think you're so special? You're lucky he even brought you home. Girls like you don't get commitment from men like him. You're not good enough for the life he deserves. Reading them made my stomach drop. They were hateful and completely false. My girlfriend didn't tell me about any of them and has just been carrying this alone, smiling and laughing with me. All while this garbage was sitting in the back of her mind. My girlfriend avoids conflict and hates upsetting anyone. I get it. It's easier to talk to a friend first, and my mom can be intense. She probably didn't want to put me in a position where it looked like choosing sides, but I've chosen. And it's not her I'm angry with. I'm furious at my mother. I'm exhausted by this. She knows how much my girlfriend means to me. She hears me talk about her constantly. I really thought she might actually be happy for me. At the same time, I don't want to make this harder on my girlfriend or make her feel exposed. Here's where I need advice. Do I tell my girlfriend gently that I saw the messages, that I'm on her side, and that she doesn't need to shield me from my own mother? Or do I handle my mother privately and not bring it up unless my girlfriend does? I just want her to feel safe and supported, and it makes me sick that she's been dealing with this alone. I'm actually sick watching her make breakfast while just feeling helpless. And we have some comments, but what is your advice there? What would you do?
I think I would bring it up to girlfriend, just because I feel like it is their relationship, and like whatever makes her feel more comfortable. If she wants to ignore it, that's on her. But I feel like I was, in that position, if I was the guy in this, if I was OP, I would have a talk with my mom, privately, and be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I would bring it up to girlfriend, be like, hey, just so you know, I know about this and I know what's going on, how would you like to deal with it? Do you want to deal with it? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And whatever she says, go along with it, whatever. But I would still have a talk with my mom, be like, what is wrong?
I think you kind of have to start with girlfriend, because I think mom's immediately texting girlfriend.
Oh, for sure.
We have some of the comments by OP. I'm in this in between of shock and rage, and I took a walk, realized I can't function, and made this post. I think this is just it for me. I'll be talking to my girlfriend today, and I have to figure out how to approach this. I'm upset, but I can't imagine how upset my girlfriend has been, and for how long. All I know is that when me and my girlfriend do get married, I don't want my mother there. I'm the last of her kids that put up with her. As her son, I thought I had a duty, but this is just a line that has been triple crossed behind my back. And knowing my girlfriend, she's going to figure out a way to forgive and forget. But I won't. I can't. I feel like a dumb butt sitting on the curb looking at all these replies, but thank you. That seems to be the consensus. Talk to my girlfriend first. I just need to figure out a way to bring this up to her. I just hate the timing, you know? She's grading things and preparing for finals, and I don't know. I hate that this is something she's been going through by herself when she already deals with so dang much. I hate my mom so much right now. This is insane. I don't know how I'd face her at all without blowing up. I'm leaning terribly to no contact at the moment. And yeah, I will be talking to my girlfriend. Someone mentioned I should probably cool off first. I will be talking to my girlfriend once I try to cool it. I don't want to approach this wrong and with anger in my heart, because what if she thinks that anger's directed at her in any way? Okay, so this got overwhelming really quick. I appreciate everyone's replies and their advice, truly. I thought only like 20 people would be here, but I'm going to walk away from my phone. Probably wasn't even the healthy move to begin with, seeking advice from strangers. But I just wanted to get out of my head and at least find options that weren't call my mom and tell her to go to heck. I'll be slimming in a bit, but I need to step away. Plus, breakfast is ready. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And we have an update 2 days later after he talks with his girlfriend.
Oh, I kind of just want to get into it.
Okay. 2 days later, I talked to my girlfriend the same night that I made that original post. We're working through everything together right now, and things are headed in a good direction. I'm not ready to write the full update yet, since there's a lot to sort out privately before I come back with all of the details, but I did want to say something to the people who reached out when I was clearly not in the best headspace. For transparency, I told my girlfriend exactly what happened, that I panicked, had what I'm pretty sure was some kind of anxiety attack, and ended up here on Big Beautiful Reddit asking a question that, in hindsight, had a pretty obvious answer. Not my finest hour, considering I'm usually, the calm one between us. I guess I was bound to pop at some point. I even ugly cried on the side of the road. I also showed her this account, and she looked at me and the comments and upvotes and hit me with, "Bet you wish your actual account got this much engagement, huh?" Destroyed me in seconds. But so very accurate. A lot has happened since, and some of it was super eye-opening. Turns out my mom has a pattern of this behavior. After my girlfriend and I talked, I reached out to my siblings, and my younger brother opened up and told me she did the same thing to his now wife years ago.
Okay.
They both moved far away and kept their distance because of it. That was a hard thing to hear, but it explains so much. Also, my girlfriend is super close with my siblings too, so she knows. Anyway, to sum it all up real quick, my girlfriend and I are solid. We're talking, we're being honest, and we're on the same team. I'm taking care of the rest. I just wanted people to know things are okay, and we're moving forward, and I appreciate a lot of you. I'm too anxious to open up any of the comments on the original post. Some of y'all are brutal, but real. My girlfriend has been peeking for me, though. Happy holidays, everyone. Stay safe. We have some comments by OP. After her most recent comment, I realized she might just have a superiority complex of sorts. Either way, this is totally crazy to me, the amount of people who can't fathom either folks who don't want to get married or haven't after a certain amount of time, like there's a time limit of sorts. Well, I guess I get the time thing. People don't live for long and things happen. But even if I passed or something before we get married, there will be plenty of more proof out there pertaining to my love for my girlfriend than just a ring and some papers. It seems to me that a lot of people think of marriage as some sort of end goal anyway, and then the love just stops because they race to that peak, At least that's what I've seen and taken note of. I wonder how the same people would react once they find out my girlfriend doesn't want a diamond ring due to blood diamonds. And she won't be wearing a white dress because of its origin too. Also, she will probably be wearing a suit. I might effing wear a dress. Then what, people? Well, I'll tell you guys what. You guys can listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. Search up OK Storytime. As of now, I've told my mother to go F herself and that the grandkids she already has don't even like her. And on top of not wanting kids personally, if me and my girlfriend were to have any, they would not be coming anywhere near her and her crappy behavior. Also, the day there is a wedding, I don't even want her in the same dang state. I've spoken to my girlfriend. I did not sugarcoat it. Told her I saw the screenshots and read everything. She knows I'm on her side, and well, it seems my mother lost her last kid. Also, we've all blocked her. All of us. I feel sad knowing that this is the life she cultivated for herself, but I'm happy knowing that, moving forward, me and my girlfriend have gotten closer. So have me and my siblings. I'm still trying to accept that I have a mom, but don't have a mom, if that makes sense. But I've got good people in my life who are helping me through that. Thank you again, and have a happy holiday.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. I mean, not for mom, but she seems like a nightmare anyway, so.
That's the end of that story. And we got another one.
My sister's boyfriend shushed me while watching a movie, so I went off on him.
Yeah, don't talk during a movie, dude.
My sister's boyfriend, Derek, has been staying at our house since March. It has honestly been one of the worst parts of never being able to leave the house. I didn't even meet him before my parents allowed him to stay with us. They met him when they visited her at college. By the way, this comes from Shush Movie. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give you some good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We would only tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do in the comments. He's really grating. Always thinking he's the smartest person in the room, and is honestly just annoying. He is not polite, never offers to do any chores or dishes, or anything. Just a complete loser. I don't get what my sister sees in him. Usually when I would watch something with my mom and dad, we would all kind of make comments about what was happening or whatever. But early on during his stay, Derek said this was too distracting and he needed to focus. I vented a little to my mom about Derek, including his need for passed away silence when watching TV, and she said that she understood that it was frustrating, but that we needed to make him comfortable as a guest. I was fine with this until last night. We were watching Molly's Game, and I was enjoying it. Maybe an hour in, during a transition from one scene to another, I asked my dad to pause it so I could go to the bathroom. Immediately after, Derek looked at me, put his finger over his mouth, and literally loudly shushed me like I was a 2-year-old. For just asking to pause the movie, I got beyond pissed off and was like, F this. I'm not watching the movie with him. I just effing can't do it. Maybe it wasn't exactly that. I don't remember because I was so angry, but it was something like that. I didn't personally insult him though. My mom called after me and I just went to the bathroom and then to my room. My sister texted me that I was behaving like an effing witch, and I texted her back that her boyfriend was an effing tool. My mom came into my room later and said that she understood why I felt the way I felt, but that I needed to apologize to Derek. I said I wouldn't because I don't think I did anything wrong. Anyway, now I'm in bed and dreading facing them, so I probably won't leave my room all day. I need to know, am I the a-hole here? NTA ages are missing, but you have a right to your views. OP responds, I didn't know I had to include ages. Sorry, I'm 16 and my sister and her boyfriend are both 20.
Okay. I can totally see a 16-year-old being like, this dude comes into my house and like he's changing the way everything's being kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, like no one's gonna want that.
Another comment says, so let me get this straight. Or he gets free room and board, doesn't lift a finger to help, and is a know-it-all arrogant type and tells you to shut up in your own home, and you're supposed to do what he wants and apologize when he's an a-hole to you? OP responds, exactly. And I really don't understand why my mom is taking his side when I know for a fact that she finds him just as annoying as I do. Another person responds, you should apologize. Derek, I am sorry that you think you have the right to shush me in my own home. I am sorry that you were never taught the manners to treat others with basic respect. I am sorry you were never taught to contribute and are doomed to a life of being a drain on others. Another comment says, not the a-hole. So many people don't seem to understand that respect is a two-way street. Not to mention when you're living for free in someone else's home, if you're not actually going to be a decent enough person to help around the house, the least you can do is step on as little toes as possible. I'm not sure why he's living with you to begin with if living at his own place is a possibility. Pandemic isn't the time to find out whether these sort of living dynamics work if it's avoidable. OP responds, when their college closed, my sister refused to come home without him, so my mom let her bring him.
God.
I wanted her home at that time too, so I was okay with it, but obviously I didn't know how effing terrible it would be. This situation isn't going to end until he leaves because there is no way I'll ever apologize to anyone. This comment is downvoted. How about you just suck it up for your mother's sake? OP responds, I sucked it up for 2 months and I'm done. His mom isn't an essential worker, so it's not like they would be going someplace that's not safe. If they're careful during the stops on the drive, they'll be fine. But I'm pretty positive my sister's threats are just threats. And if they're not just threats, that's cool too. Either way, I'm not apologizing. Update, I didn't apologize and things got worse. A couple of hours ago, I went to get breakfast and saw Derek in the hallway. I kind of glared at him and he went back into my sister's room. My sister then came out and started yelling at me about how I'm making him uncomfortable. I basically told her everything I said here about him being lazy and rude. My mom and dad heard us yelling and came down, and my sister threatened that she and him would leave to go to his mom's house, which is a long drive away. I told her to leave and my mom started crying. My dad told us both to shut the F up, and now I'm in my room. Great morning so far. I hope she effing leaves. Thanks for all the comments. I appreciate the majority of people saying I'm not the a-hole. My sister told my mom, who told me, I know, very mature, that if I don't apologize, they'll leave this weekend. My mom practically begged me to apologize, and my dad told me if I didn't apologize, I would be in big trouble. But I'm not threatened by that at all, because what the F is he going to do? Ground me? LOL. I'm never going to apologize. I'm so mad at my parents for falling for my sister's obvious manipulative BS. If she wants to leave, she should just effing do it instead of just threatening to do it. There's another update 3 days later.
Oh my god. I don't even know, because I'm like, at some point, like, it is a good lesson to learn that sometimes you just have to suck it up and apologize for something that you probably really didn't do wrong just to keep peace. On the other hand, though, a lot of the times I'm like, no, you should learn to, like, stand your ground.
Yeah.
So it's, like, such a tricky thing where it's, like, maybe do it just to help your mom, but then just, like, distance yourself from them, which I know is hard when you're locked in a house with them.
I don't know if anyone will read this, but my sister and Derek left early this morning. Derek and I didn't talk directly since the night everything started. My sister was like, are you really not going to apologize? And I said that I had nothing to be sorry for and that obviously it was her choice whether to leave or stay. By the way, you have no choice. You have to stay here and listen to full episodes just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search OK Storytime. She said that Derek didn't want to walk on eggshells around me, and I said that was what I was doing for 2 months.
Yeah.
So I didn't have much sympathy. She was pissed at that. My mom and dad both tried to guilt me into apologizing. My mom even said that if my sister got sick after leaving, it would be my fault. But again, my sister is choosing to leave, so it can't be my fault. I agree, OP. She's choosing to leave because she feels uncomfortable, and that's whatever. That's her choice. My dad was like, just do it for your mom. And I was like, no, if Derek wants to talk about it, I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to apologize. So they left. Honestly, I'm surprised that my sister actually followed through because usually she's all talk, but I'm happy with it. My mom was crying all day and she's not talking to me. I feel bad for her, but I really just couldn't do it anymore. Not really a happy ending, but whatever. And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, I know it's way past with the post, but I hope you are doing well. I'm glad you stood your ground and you were right to say you would talk things out with Derek only, as he was the source of the tension. Stay strong. Another person commented, said, not the a-hole. Geez, what a garbage family. Your parents are especially the a-hole for showing partial treatment towards your sister. Seriously, your dad telling you to just shut the F up, and your mom crying and begging you to apologize to appease your sister and her punk boyfriend? Wow, what great parenting skills they have, especially since your sister hooked up with this guy. I'd say that sooner or later you can move out as well and reduce contact with them for the time being, especially if your mom isn't even talking to you. I'd like an update as to what happens next should your mom decide to talk to you.
Yeah, I think that'll pass with the parents.
Yeah.
Once pandemic stress, I think it's something you can revisit. You can be like, hey, this is how I felt about this.
Sure.
Like, can we talk about how you ignored me?
Yeah.
But I think we need tensions to ease and maybe the pandemic to lift a little bit.
Yeah, I think that just there's so much tension in that house.
Yeah.
And even though the sister has removed herself, there's still tension between you and your parents. And it's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
don't-
your parents will come around, though.
Yeah, I think your parents will come around. Give them time. I feel like the stakes are really high right now and everything just happens so quick. And like everyone's feelings are like, bursting. So I just feel like, give it time, let things settle, and then you can revisit it and be like, okay, now I have a clear mind, instead of being like frustrated, angry, whatever. Like, I think, OP, I don't think that you are the a-hole. I think your sister and her boyfriend are the a-hole. Your parents are just kind of like, they want to keep the peace, but not in the right way. I think they're doing it in the wrong way. So I hope it worked out, though, but that's the end of the story. Well, and we got another one coming right up.
My father keeps buying me things I can't use, and it's stressing me out.
Oh, Daddy, buy me things I want, please.
So for some short backstory, I live in rural New South Wales in Australia. I have around 1.5 acres of land and not much motivation to do anything other than watch my chickens being chickens and raising chickens. By the way, this comes from the Hungry Slug, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. My father has pushed me into getting another rainwater tank, a Rapid Plus 22,500 liter tank, while I currently have 2 of them already. We never get enough rain to fill the tanks I already have installed. I have 3 kids and they use a fair bit of water for showers and toilets. I've told him that I have less than 0 interest in installing this 3rd tank because I cannot get enough rain to fill what I already have. As such, I must buy loads of water and have it delivered at $260 for around 12,000 liters. He bought and had it delivered after trying to basically upsell the idea of it to me. He also recently bought, paid for, and had delivered a black color bond lawn locker, which I also have less than 0 interest in any form. Making form work and pouring a slab is something I avoid like the plague. I have no ability to do that sort of job in any form of acceptable manner. I love my father, but he just doesn't seem to ever listen when I say no, even when I blow up because I am at a boiling point of stress and frustration. I don't want free handouts, especially when it's something I really don't want or need. As such, I end up feeling like an ungrateful person. So now I have an unwanted shed in boxes outside, getting wet from the rain, and the box is pecked apart by my chickens, ducks, and sheep. A water tank sits on its side, waiting to blow away in a strong wind, if not for being anchored down. I have a father who doesn't seem to listen and seems to expect me to change my mind when I am in a better mood, without realizing that my mind is not in a bad mood. I am just frustrated that he doesn't comprehend my lack of interest, and that when I say no, it isn't a reason to try and pressure me into saying yes. I really don't want to try and set these 2 things up, nor do I want them in my yard. I have enough stuff taking up space as it is already. Sure, it could potentially add value to my property, but it is an old fibro house with asbestos in some of the original wall linings. I don't want to touch any part of it, for obvious reasons. I might also add that I have no feelings of attachment to this house. It's just a place to live. I'm not trying to improve it beyond what my immediate needs are. I don't have that sort of money or motivation. I can barely make ends meet as it is now. So am I overly full of myself, ungrateful, an a-hole, or something else? I don't know, but I don't have a good way to rationalize this all. And we have some comments. Not the a-hole. Return them and keep the money. Or sell them and keep the money. Do not tell Dad. Let him find out when they're gone. If Dad loses his mind, calmly remind him that you were clear about your wishes for your property. He wasted his money of his own volition. Commenter 2, not the a-hole, but stop accepting deliveries. I would give your father a chance to come get his purchases, or they will be sold or given away. They are becoming hazardous and unsightly. He's going to be annoyed either way, so you might as well set boundaries so you both aren't annoyed and your place doesn't look like a junkyard. Is there something that would be helpful to have that you need? Maybe direct him in that direction. Comment 3, not the a-hole. Don't install them. Contact the retailer he bought them from and arrange a return or cancellation. If they can't be returned, find someone else to take them off your hands for free or for a profit. It sounds like your father steamrolls you into doing things for his own reason that are not all tied to what you actually want or need. Don't cave. I feel like he has to see you reject these things by returning or giving them away before he will think twice about doing this in the future. You are not an a-hole for not wanting to be given expenses and projects as gifts. I worry that this type of forced gift giving is being weaponized to guilt you into compliance or a sense of debt to your father. This isn't a generous gift on his part. And we have an update.
I think if, like, say, okay, instead of buying this, like, that you think that I need, why don't you do this. Like, if you want to help out, just like buy this thing. I will give you, the website or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like point them in the right direction,
The problem with the water is that we never get enough rain. When we do, everyone else is getting flooded. Even then, my tanks never fill up to overflow. My current tanks, I have two 22,500 liters and one approximately 8,000 liters, hold around 50,000 liters in total. I don't need an extra 22,500 liter tank. What I need is a larger catchment area. That's the only way I can get more rainwater to fill the existing tanks. The little kit shed he bought doesn't have gutters, and fitting them to it is not possible either. I live on a shoestring budget. All of my income, except for $80, goes into paying off my home loan. I also have physical limitations that prevent me from working, and as such, I receive a disability support pension. With that in mind, I can't do half of these things anymore. I certainly can't stand up a 22,500 liter water tank all by myself. And my dad has a damaged shoulder and nerve, so he can't do it either. I only shower every 2 to 3 days to avoid using too much water, unless I really need one. Even then, I keep it as short as possible. My partner and two eldest kids do the same. My youngest, 11 years old, does not seem to listen and will have multiple short showers in a day. I've done what I can to insist that my dad be more respectful and conscious with his amount of water usage. His mother doesn't help the situation much either. He is her golden child and gets away with a lot, which I have said isn't okay. That situation is like arguing with two spoiled children who try the pouty face or puppy dog eyes guilt trip type things. Speaking of my partner, I love her dearly, but she can be very stressful. In the past, she brought home 3 puppies without asking my opinion or consent. I went outside and there they were. I asked why, and she said she got them because they were cute and thought the kids might like them. Pulling the puppy dog eyes trick she does while smiling in a way that looks more like a smirk. The sensation I felt was intense. I told her to take them back from wherever she got them from, what she did only after I threatened to take them to the pound. I feel as though we are getting very off topic from the original problem.
Yeah.
Which is your dad giving you gifts you can't use.
Now your wife is getting you puppies.
She acted more distraught than the kids and cried like I had threatened to harm the puppies. She also wanted to buy seahorses and take them on a 3-hour drive home with nothing to put them into. Nothing at all. Thankfully, the aquarium pet store owner helped her understand how bad of an idea it was, and I talked her out of buying them. I take longer than some may consider normal to respond in conversations. I try to consider possibilities, practicalities, and certainties before jumping into action. 6 P's. Prior planning prevents piss-poor performance is a motto I live by. Sometimes you have to fly by the seat of your pants, though. I know, as a fact, I lack the money and physical ability to install another foundation pad for another tank for the required corresponding retaining wall required to hold all of the less than or equal to 5mm rock crusher dust. The same goes for just setting up formwork and digging piers and footing to pour a slab for the flimsy black powder-coated tin shed that can't even be fitted with gutters. I would also be below the inlet heights for any of the tanks I have anyway. My dad has also said to me, you can just jack up on the side of the plastic poly tank to suck the last of the water out so you can move them to level out their foundation pads. There are around 500 liters of water below the outlet level of the tanks, so they always have weight in them to prevent blowing away. I personally think it is a very ill-advised idea. By the way, I think it's a very advised idea for you guys to go listen to more full episodes with stories just like this one. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, search up OK Storytime. This all sounds like a lot of work to install something you can't even use.
This hurts my back just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of farm issues. I thought we were just raising chickens, loving chickens, and feeding the chickens.
I think all OP wants is his chickens.
Yeah,
and all his wife wants are seahorses and puppies. Besides, my tanks can't be connected in a daisy chain by their overflow outlets unless they are set up in a stepped configuration because their inlets are on the tops of the tanks with the strainer screen. They could be connected via their outlets, in which case, as water is used, each tank lowers in a water level at the same time, remaining equal to each other in water height. That has problems when it rains because the water entering the first tank would flow out of the bottom outlet and enter each other tank via their outlets, which is less than ideal as it stirs up sediment settled at the bottom of the tanks. Right now, I've had so little rain that the ground is cracking apart. About 30 centimeter deep cracks opening to around 3 centimeter wide so far. So am I an a-hole or not? Since I already know I am slow. No, you're not the a-hole for not wanting gifts you can't use. I just don't even know how.
I couldn't even give
don't
like
even know
advice
how.
on farm things. I've never been on a farm.
Yeah,
I mean,
I kind of followed some of the explanations of his water tanks, but none to be able to be like, oh, here's how to fix this. Like, I don't know, water tank. That's the end of that story and the end of the episode.